What's up, gentlemen? So before we get into this video, a few things you need to know. Number one, I am not a fragrance expert. The second thing you need to know is that scents are very subjective. What I think stinks like cat piss, you might absolutely love. Well, the inspiration for today's video is this dude that I met the other day at a party. He came up to me and I could smell him, right? He was strong, it was pungent, and it was disgusting. But I needed to know what he was wearing. So I'm like, oh man, your cologne, I love it. What is it? And he's like, it's 1 Million by Rabanne. Have you ever heard of it? I'm like, yes, I just didn't realize that it smelled so bad. I actually said, oh, really? I love that. Oh my God, you smell amazing, right? As I backed up, and it got me thinking about a video that I want to do today for you, and that is a few fragrances that you should never wear because literally it smells like cat piss. In my humble opinion, and the humble opinion of my big ass nose, right? Look at that thing. Anyway, here's the deal. Number one, I'm just going to start it there, and that is, and this is just my opinion, right? 1 Million by Rabanne, right? Super popular. Everybody's talking about it. I personally think that it smells not so amazing. Number two is CK1. All right, so this one was super popular when I was growing up. And so whenever I smell it, it brings me back to that time of virginity. And so whenever I smell this, I just think, wow, that is not something a dude should wear. David Beckham Classic Blue. Did you know that David Beckham actually had a line of fragrances? Well, I don't think he actually smells like this because this doesn't smell incredible in my opinion, which brings me to another overarching category of fragrances that you should not wear, and that is anything that was made or designed by a celebrity or a department store or sneakers. Like literally, the reason why they call this Adidas Moves is because when you spray it, everybody moves away because you stink so bad. Something else that smells bad, like literally like a grandma's vagina, is Jupe. It's an interesting mix of like a floral note with just disgusting baby powder disgustingness. Chrome. Gentlemen, here's the deal. All right, Chrome, once again, this was my jam back in the day, and I wore the shit out of this. I smelled this, and I was like, my God, it's amazing. It smells like sex and money, right? And I was wearing it everywhere. Unfortunately, so was like 25 million other dudes, which brings me to another category of fragrances that you should avoid. Anything that has like super crazy mass appeal. I'm looking at you, Sauvage, and Gucci Guilty, not to mention like Eros. Like a lot of these like super popular fragrance houses, you know, Dior and Gucci and Versace, right? They offer amazing fragrances, but unfortunately they're so amazing that a lot of people start to buy them, a lot of people start to wear them, which means her ex-boyfriend is probably wearing the same fragrance that you are. And so if you want to avoid this, you got to upgrade the quality of fragrance. Now, another one that I want to talk about is the fragrances like the Creeds, right? The Aventises. Everybody's heard that it's amazing and sexy. The reason why I don't feel like this is the same in terms of kind of mass appeal is that most people can't afford this shit. Literally, like most people can't afford $450 for a fragrance. And so I don't feel like you run the risk of basically smelling like everybody else when you're wearing something super premium or luxe, all right? Number one fragrance of all time for me. I love it. I get compliments on it every single time. Actually, I don't wear Creed. What do I wear? This fragrance, Rebel. It's my fragrance that is inspired heavily by Creed Aventus, except instead of $450, this is literally like under 50, and there's going to be a link in a discount code if you want to grab this. Anyway, Rebel was a fragrance that I developed because I love smelling amazing, right? I just didn't like spending like $450 for a fragrance. And so I went to my lab and I said, yo, this is what I want it to smell like. I want it to be heavily inspired, but not a copy or a clone. Guys, I'm going to link down below to Rebel, the EDP fragrance from Pete and Pedro, if you're interested in smelling incredible, very heavily inspired by this, for literally under $50. But there's also going to be a limited time discount code, which makes it even more crazy, ridiculous in terms of affordability. Guys, this is a panty dropper of epic proportions. Speaking of panties, Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, to me, is what I would imagine old testicles to smell like. I just don't love this, right? I really don't love this. And it's only 30 mil, and the price is insane, which brings me to another category of fragrances that you should avoid, and that is anything that's like super crazy expensive that you can't afford or that you shouldn't be affording. And what I mean by this is that there are a ton of incredible fragrances out there that don't have to cost like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But if you're just buying it because you think it's going to make you cooler or you just think that you definitely should look for something a bit more affordable. Two of my favorite affordable fragrances, guys, right here by Montblanc, Individual and Legend. These two fragrances, in my opinion, smell incredible, and they're under $100. One that's around 20 that I think is pretty solid is right here. It is Nautica Voyage. All right, now this one does smell a bit synthetic, but the fact is it is a great smell for an incredible price. An Axe body spray is what I would imagine 12-year-old testicles to smell like. Whoa, I'm gonna get arrested. All right, I'm not smelling anybody's testicles other than my own, which are fresh because I use Pete and Pedro powder. You want me to pitch it? No. Anyway, seriously, here's the deal. All right, I wanted to know what ChatGPT had to say because this is my opinion, but I wanted to know like what the internet had to say in terms of like the most offensive and worst, or should I say polarizing fragrances out there. Number 1 is Axe. Number 2 is Curve for men. Number 3 is Jacquard. Number 4 is Brut. Number 5 is Cool Water. Number 6, Fahrenheit. Number 7, Paco Rabanne 1 million. I told you. Number 8, Jean-Claude Gaultier La Mer. Number 9, Armis by Armis. Number 10, Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Number 11, Diesel Only the Brave. Number 12, Calvin Klein Obsession for Men. Number 13, Polo Black by Ralph Lauren. Number 14, English Laundry by Dana. And number 15, oh, come on. Aqua de Joe is one of the best smelling fragrances out there, period, hands down. Now Spice Bomb, on the other hand, I'm kidding. Or am I? Gentlemen, down below, I want to know, in your opinion, what is the worst fragrance a dude should never wear? Down below, let us know.